Let's go on to page 13. Lfo Depth. This sets the degree of aftertouch and the modulation wheel to apply the LFO, discussed on page 12. Both go from 0 to 99, with higher numbers giving more modulation. On to page 14. The key filter field. In the key filter field, the higher the number from 0 to 99 and the lower you play, the more high end is cut off. The constant pitch makes every note a C3. One shot turns your looping off or on. Let's go to page 15. This determines the MIDI channel for each key group. This is good for when you are using separate outputs in the back. You can give each key group a separate output and MIDI channel. For this, you would turn Omni mode off. In the offset field, set the MIDI channel one below where you want it to be. For example, if you want MIDI channel 1, put the offset on 0. And the next field will show you the exact channel, MIDI channel 1. Now, for MIDI channel 2, put the offset on 1, and the next field shows channel 2. Let's go to page 16. Page 16 determines which outputs the key groups will come out of. Set the key group in the key group field, and in the next field, tell it where to go. So 0 is the mix out, 9 is the left channel, 10 would be the right channel. Now, 1 through 8 is for the individual outputs. Okay, I've already inserted the rhythm section disc with some additions to our bass and piano. Now we have bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat, tom-toms, bass, guitar, here's our piano, and marimba. Okay, I can assign the bass drum to output 1, the snare drum to output 2, hi-hat and toms to output 3, bass to output 4, guitar to output 5, piano to output 6, and marimba to output 7. Now that I've set all the different samples to different MIDI channels and to individual outputs, I can use them with a sequencer and have a complete backup band. You should now have a good working knowledge of the AKAI S-900 sampler. To give you an idea of what you have at your disposal, the S-900 has an impressive sampling frequency of 40K, plus a 12-bit linear system, which gives the sampler an incredible resolution of 4,096 waveform possibilities. All of this translates into outstanding accuracy. In addition to the great sound reproduction, the S-900 has memory and storage capacity, which allows you to utilize these sounds to the fullest. At its maximum sampling frequency, it can sample for almost 12 seconds. Plus, we get velocity and positional crossfade, full ADSR, filter controls, LFO, aftertouch, and pitch warp. With the sampler's 8 individual outputs, plus a left-right mix, we can take the S-900's 32 splits, or sample points, and assign them to different MIDI channels, and then assign them all to individual outputs. This makes the S-900 a true multi-timbral instrument. Well, after all this talking about the S-900, all I want to do is play it. But remember, if you have any questions, just rewind the video.